all got people in our lives who, after you spend time with them, you just feel drained or confused. But what if you could actually spot those people before they get too close? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down 5 specific personality types to watch out for, all to protect your own peace of mind.
That kind of gives you a chill, doesn't it? The idea that a friendly face could be hiding something else. And we've all been there, right? You get that feeling in your gut that something's just not quite right, even if someone is being perfectly nice. This thought is really the foundation for everything we're about to get into. So the big question is, how do you see past that facade? It's not about becoming cynical or paranoid. It's about being smart. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Give you the tools to identify 5 key types of people who might not have your best interests at heart. Okay, let's dive right into our first category. This is all about spotting the massive gap between what a person says and what they actually do. This is usually where the mask first starts to slip. First up, we've got the social chameleon. I bet you can picture someone right now. They're super supportive and friendly when it's just you and them, but then get them in a group and suddenly they're making little jokes at your expense. That inconsistency, that's a huge red flag. And look, this isn't just about them being fake. It's about the instability it creates for you. When you're around someone who's constantly changing who they are, you can never, ever relax. You're always on edge, kind of wondering which version of them is going to show up today. And that is no way to build a real, healthy relationship. Have you ever noticed this? The people who say trust me the most are often the last people you should actually trust. It's such a small phrase, but it's a surprisingly powerful warning sign for our second archetype. Here's the bottom line. Trust is built with actions. It's not built with words. If someone's actions are consistently trustworthy, they will never have to ask you to trust them. You just will. The fact that they have to say it is often a dead giveaway that their actions aren't speaking for themselves. All right, let's get into our next section, which I'm calling the loyalty litmus test. This is where we group together 2 types of people whose behavior gives you a super clear, almost scientific, look into whether they're capable of loyalty and respect. Oh, we all know this one, the gossip. And it's so easy to get sucked in, isn't it? It can feel like you're being let in on a secret, like you're part of this exclusive club. But you gotta realize that feeling of inclusion is a total trap. And this right here, this is the simple, unbreakable rule of gossip. The way someone talks about other people to you is exactly how they're going to talk about you to other people. It is not a question of if, it's just a matter of when. And that brings us right to our 4th type, which is really just a sneakier version of the gossip. This is the person you trust with something private, something important, only to find out later that your personal story has become their social currency. And here's the key to understanding why they do it. For this person, your secret isn't a bond of trust between you two. No, it's just a juicy piece of information they can trade for a little moment in the spotlight. That quick hit of attention is just way more valuable to them than your trust. Okay, now we're at the final and maybe the most powerful test of someone's character. This isn't about what people say or do when they're trying to impress you. This is about who they are when they think nobody important is watching. Just let that sink in for a second. Think about it. How do they treat a waiter? Or a cashier? Or someone in a junior role at work? Are they kind and respectful? Or are they dismissive and rude? In those little moments, their guard is completely down. And that is the whole point. What you're seeing in that moment isn't an act. It's not for show. It is the raw, unedited version of their character. This is probably the most reliable insight you will ever get into who a person truly is. So now you've got the tools to spot these behaviors. What's next? Look, this isn't about becoming a detective and analyzing everyone in your life. It's about empowering yourself to build a healthier, more supportive circle of people around you. So let's run through them one more time. We have the social chameleon, who changes depending on who's in the room, the trust me talker, whose words are empty because their actions don't back them up, the gossip and the attention seeker, who will trade your trust for a moment of importance, and finally, the opportunist, who shows you their real self when they think there's nothing in it for them. And this really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Learning to see these patterns isn't about judging people. It's about being discerning. Your time, your peace, your energy, that stuff is a finite resource.
You can't just give it away to people who drain it. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation. So, as we wrap up, let's flip this around. Instead of just thinking about who to avoid, think about who this explainer made you really appreciate. Who in your life is the real deal? Who shows you real trust, real loyalty, and consistent character? Those are your people. Hold on to them.